Salve omnes, welcome to the screencast for Aeneid, Book 1, lines 418 to 429. So in this passage, Aeneas and Achates will see Carthage for the first time. So in the meantime, you'll remember that he and Achates had left their other crew there on the beach after the feast and tried to explore the area. And while they were in the woods, they encountered a woman that looked like a Spartan huntress. We see her here with her dress kind of tied up in a knot. She's got her animal skin. She's got her quiver of arrows, and she tells them about the place, tells them about Carthage, and Dido's ill-fated marriage with Zacchaeus, her wicked brother Pygmalion, and so of course it turns out that this woman is in fact Venus, Aeneas's mother, and but she tells them that you are near Carthage, that it's just down the road. And so indeed, in this woodcut, we can see that just over the hill there rise the peaks of Carthage, newly built, so still in the process of being constructed. And so Virgil kind of takes us there. Corripuere vi interea qua semita monstrat. So corripuere for errant. So they meanwhile took the road qua in which place where semita monstrat, where the path points out. So they followed where the path leads. Jamque, and now they were climbing the hill qui plurimus eminent orbi. So which was the biggest towering over the city. So which biggest hill towers over the city? And they were looking from above at the citadels opposite them. Mirator molem Aeneas, Magalia quondam. So Aeneas marvels at the mass, once huts. He marvels at the gates and at the noise and at the pavings of roads, the beds of the roads. So several interesting things going on here. Of course, some alliteration, Mirator molem Magalia. Also, Magalia, we're told, is a Punic word, meaning, it's a word in the Carthaginian language, the Phoenician language, which would give the passage a little bit of color. Also, of course, Aeneas is just seeing this big city being built, and this idea that it was once huts is a bit anachronistic. He doesn't know that, really. He's just kind of staring at the site. This is more for our benefit. So a place where there were once huts, now a marvelous city, and he's a city boy himself, right? So Troy was a grand city, so these would be things he is familiar with. It's not like he's never seen a city before. Instant ardentes Tyrii. So the Tyrians, of course, those are the Carthaginians, they enthusiastic, literally burning, instant, press on, pars ducere muros, etc., etc., pars optare locum. So this pars, part of them to do one thing, part of them to do another. You can also handle that by saying some this, others that. So some to lead out the walls, to extend the walls, and to moliri archem, to pile up, to build up the citadel, and to subwalere saxa, to roll up rocks with their hands. Part, or if you had done some up here, others, to choose a place for a roof. A roof here probably being used in synecdoche for a house or a building. Et concludere sulco, and to hem it in, to enclose it with a trench. Let's see, so as far as these infinitives, ducere, moliri, subwalere, optare, concludere, you can do it two different ways. One, you could just take them complementary with instant. They press on to extend the walls. They press on to build up the citadel. Or you could essentially pretend as though that were just a sentence. And so the Tyrians press on, and now you've got these infinitives effectively used as main verbs with subjects in the nominative, because pars is nominative, and that's permissible. You can do that. We call that a historical infinitive. So you can take these. So the Tyrians pressed on. Some of them extended the walls and built up the city, and etc. So if you do that, don't translate it as an infinitive. You translate the historical infinitive as a main verb. Or, as we said, you can just treat this as a continuation of the sentence. So the Tyrians press on, part of them to extend the walls, to heap up, etc. So you can do one, you can do the other, you just have to choose. Jura magistratus quae legunt sanctumque senatum. So notice this is in brackets. That means that some editors believe that this is an interpolation, that it doesn't actually belong in Virgil's text, which would be a little bit unfortunate because it's interesting that they choose laws and magistrates and a holy senate. Now, certainly one thing here, a couple of things to remember. One, supposedly Aeneas is up on a hillside at a distance looking at the city, and yet somehow he can tell from that far away, his eyes and ears are that good, that he can tell that, oh, those guys over there are choosing the laws and setting up the government and establishing a holy senate, which, of course, is just Virgil flying us down into the action. And then also there are a number of ways in which the city that's being built, Carthage, is a stand-in for the city of Virgil's readership, Rome. That like Rome, or excuse me, that like Carthage, Rome was once simply a collection of huts, and now a grand marble city rises up all around them. Also it's marked by things like laws and magistrates, and in particular something particularly Roman, a holy senate, right? So that is a Roman form of government, to mention that the Carthaginians at this early stage, the Carthaginians ever, would have a senate, just kind of making this Carthage a stand-in for Rome. So Heek, so a little anaphora there. So in this place, alii this, alii that. So some dig out harbors or ports. Here, others place the foundations, the alta fundamenta, the deep foundations for theaters. Que, and they excidunt, they cut immanes columnas, huge columns from the cliffs. Scinis decoralta futuri, so high decorations for future stages. So note the word order there, the decora alta, high decorations for futuri scinis, for future stages. You get A, B, B, A. That's, of course, a chiasmus. And these huge columns are the high decoration. We just called that apposition, where you're restating something. So huge columns, high decoration. All right, so that gets us up to where we needed to be. Up next, we get a wonderful epic simile where the activities of the Carthaginians is compared to a hive of bees. But that will have to wait for another screencast. Thanks.